Two? We got two people here. What?
Who we got?
The
No, we got quite a few here.
True.
Sorry, we were having a very in-depth conversation about the JFK assassination, but that doesn't make it open for discussion right now because we'll never get through.
We're on to a different rabbit hole now.
Yeah.
You can really get lost in that subject.
Oh, like I said, I spent the last 6 months of my school year before I graduated. That was my project, and I read the Warren Commission. I studied everything, and then I had to give him my conclusion. Jerry, Natalie, Charlie,
I'm Charlie.
Teresa.
Just a shameless plug for, the shop. These are very comfortable.
Oh yeah, take
What are we talking about? The shirt?
yeah.
Like
Oh.
the inside is really soft.
Sure.
It's just like really cozy. It's a perfect hoodie.
Yeah, we got. I've added a new collection, and and we had a very good inspiration for this. Or Amy did. It had a good inspiration for this. She said, "Well, can we make a coffee mug?" And we did. Then we made a shirt, or we made a shirt first, then a coffee mug,
Mm-hmm.
and then the hoodie. And who else knows what's to come? But it's
Possibilities
selling
are
pretty good.
endless. Yeah.
Can you put the chat up where you can automatically see it?
Oh yes.
And it all goes for a good cause to get
There
cancer.
you go.
So
Yeah, absolutely.
Hello,
that's the
everybody.
important part.
All right, so who we got here? Let me get to my chats. There's a comment there that a long one. I'd like to read that. Let's see, I've been following Bluebell. Hello, Bluebell. I've been following this channel for some months now, but posted only a couple of times and just recently. Well, yeah, I've noticed those too, Bluebell. So thanks a lot. And I know that at one time I wasn't familiar with you and I didn't let you into Zoom, but you're welcome anytime now that I know who you are.
Oh, Natalie got a stupid Amy. Thank you.
Yeah, did it? Yeah. Um, Sam loves E. Same here, Bluebell. Very, we've seen a lot of new names, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Really
Maxine
appreciate it.
here.
It's cool to see.
Satnam.
Yeah, Jamie. There's Patty Satnin. We're already up to 24, and we haven't even said a word about.
Charlie.
So I had some really sad news this week. I was so proud last week to display my Elvis What Happened book it's the original first edition. I was so proud that my little puppy decided she wanted to take a bite out of it.
Oh my goodness.
Bob's got good taste.
Mm-hmm.
So the first edition is now part of it's being digested through my dog's belly.
He's nothing but a hound dog.
Yeah. So anyways, I'm glad it was that book and not one of my other ones.
If it had to be a book, that's the perfect book.
That's the perfect book.
Right next
My
to
wife brings it back to me. She walks in here. She goes, "Is this yours?" And I go, "Well, I think I'm the only one in the house that reads about Elvis. I know my puppies don't, but obviously," she says, "Well, they eat them."
give him Goldman's.
Yeah, Maxie. Hello, Maxie again. Jamie. So we got a good group here already. 26. So last week
What the hell is that?
we got a really good distance of a chapter and a half. And we had an awesome conversation. We had some great comments. You guys were great as far as like you always are. There's no drama, and we love your input. And everybody respects everyone's opinion, and that's what we're going to continue doing. But this is a book that it could be volatile, but I like the way we're doing this process, and you guys seem to think you like this process too. We did it with Lisa Marie's book, and if you haven't watched that one, that was a good one too.
Mm-hmm.
So, with no holds barred, I think it's time we just go ahead and get into the book. You guys got anything else to say before we jump right in?
No.
No, not yet.
No, not yet. All right, guys. Let's see. Let's go to the screen share. I got that chat over there, and I need my screen, and I need to find.
Which you are for entertainment purposes only.
Yes.
Conversation.
I'm going to do that.
Any paperwork. It's rumored I may be getting paperwork from someone, so I'm real excited.
Oh, oh yeah.
This is all for entertainment purposes.
Nudge, nudge.
Our comments are our opinions only. We make no claims as to fact, and the viewer should make their own opinions. All opinions are welcome on Elvis-A-Z.
That is right.
Thank you for your support.
Yes, thank you guys for listening to that. We might play it one more time during the show. I do need to add something in here that is that my phone? I think there it is. I need to add this back in here when I was moving stuff around. Okay, so last week we covered about a chapter and a half, and the biggest thing that really stood out for me is just how the book starts off with a bang, like like a murder mystery type of, like a Columbo episode where you see everything, the worst of it all, and then you got to figure out what's going on from that point. And it highlighted a lot of good points about the chapters and how it contradicts itself right from the beginning. That's a lot what I got out of it.
Yeah.
So we left off here on reliability questions. Let me scroll back here just for a second and talk about why the story matters. The story functions almost like foreshadowing. The authors are introducing an idea that becomes much larger later. Elvis could swing emotionally from warmth to rage very quickly. This becomes one of the book's central psychological claims. And if you've never read this book, I read it when it first came out, and it's now I'm really discovering really how much they contradicted themselves within almost the same page sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
they do.
And then we also know who really did author the book. I come to the conclusion, even with last week, but before that, Steve Dunleavy took what he had from the guys, and then he made it into a tabloid type story. My opinion is they did come in there with the dirt, but when Steve Dunleavy didn't think it was enough to attract attention, I think he expanded on it, changed it, and all. I would love to be able to get the audio tapes of those interviews.
Right, but then also too, the guys say they approved the final manuscript. So
yeah.
Can I ask you something quick, Amy, before we get too far?
Of
The
course.
girl that was hit. I'm sorry. The girl that was hit with the pole cue. Any way we could find out what really happened to her? Maybe medical records, because back then they didn't have the
the HIPAA, yeah,
the
we probably could, yeah,
it'd be really cool to find out what she claimed and
or if she's still around,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good
Because
point.
have we ever heard from her, or
Right.
just everybody else's stories about her?
and she sued. Maybe Sandy knows her name.
Yeah, that'd be a good rabbit hole.
That would be a good one. I know we're going to talk about, well, if we get to that point, I was going through the notes today and I was getting angry on some of this stuff. So pool cue, I got my note thing today.
We'll
Kim.
just add it to our list.
Pool cue girl. Okay. And I got this for you, Joe, in case you mute yourself.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
You may now talk, Joe.
Okay. It's better than
All right, so let's have some fun, I think.
Maxie said, I don't think she was ever mentioned. And yeah, I don't think she sued. I think it was one of those things where Elvis just,
I thought he gave it was settled out of court.
he probably just paid for everything in his very Elvis way,
Well,
she didn't have to ask. He probably just, just like Paige, he made sure she was good.
Yeah.
Girl that kept being bitchy like that, because what I was told, Sandy told me that she just kept it on and kept saying shit about Elvis and kept it on and kept it on. So he finally lost his shit, and I don't blame him. But I wouldn't throw in a pole cue at somebody. But she just doesn't sound like a girl that would let him go and not take some kind of a money out of it.
Yeah. And I think the breaking point was when she called him the son of a bitch.
Yeah, we do talk about that a little bit in here.
And I just see him throwing it. I don't see him like eyeing her like a bullseye and trying to harpoon her with a pole cue either. I think it was just.
Yeah, there was something about that word, that phrase that really bugged Elvis. No matter what was from her or anybody else, that phrase, refers to his mother. And so
I'm sorry, you're in his kingdom. You're there. Yeah. You're the big cheese, and here's this girl putting you down. I mean, you Memphis Mafia guys are there playing pool. I can
Yeah.
understand getting fist.
Well, I think it would go for anyone's home. You're a guest in anyone's home, and they come in acting out of sorts. I'm gonna
Okay.
probably cuss you out and then put you outside.
For some reason, I'm missing the chat here. Oh, that's why.
There it is.
Okay, I need to do something here real quick.
I would have thrown the toaster. Hurt some more.
What you say?
I said I would have thrown a toaster. It would hurt more.
Yeah. Okay, I just want to make sure I keep that up there, right there. They can still scan that.
I threw a Capri Sun at my ex-husband once, and it cut his cheek. It caught him on the corner of his cheek.
What did you throw at him?
A Capri Sun, like juice thing.
Yeah.
Ooh. We've all done it,
I thought she threw a car at him. A Capri. God damn, you strong girl.
I mean, I am really strong for my size, but yeah. That's true.
Have you sent an email? I'm sorry. Have you sent an email about handicap not being able to get up into the jet and still being charged?
I sure have. That accommodations. I'll forward it to you. And that accommodations need to be made. Yeah.
Good girl.
Because that goes against the ADA. That's
She's incredible.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Sam loves you. He loves to eat. It might have been worse if he'd have thrown a ball and it hit her. Well, I tell you what, a cue ball would not feel good.
Oh no.
Patty. All right, so reliability questions. So this analysis that we've got put together, it brings out that this section must be treated carefully. So the reasons are, and this is the descriptions of what they give as far as Elvis is concerned. That he's very highly dramatic, dialogue heavy, emotionally cinematic, and difficult to independently verify. That's the subject matter of this next section. However, the value of the story may not lie in literal precision. No shit.
Yeah.
Instead, it reveals how the authors want readers to see Elvis. And when I read that, it was really interesting because at the end of the day, the authors were really four people. You got the three that gave the stories, and you got the one that turned it into what he wanted it to be. So, at the end of the day, it was just a clusterfuck. And I can understand in one aspect when they read the book saying, that this isn't really what we said and all that. That's fine and dandy, but why'd you even say anything in the first place to give him that ammunition?
Right. If it was supposed to remind Elvis of the good times and what he could be and how things used to be,
and so instead, it reveals how the authors want readers to see Elvis: emotionally reactive, insecure, pride sensitive, volatile under embarrassment.
Well, wouldn't anybody be under those circumstances? I mean, somebody's coming and trying to force a narrative about you onto somebody else. Any person with any sanity would react and be emotionally reactive, insecure, pride sensitive, and volatile.
Yeah, Elvis was a very proud person, and he was very proud of his home, and he was very proud of his. Not that he called it that, but of his kingdom. It was his sanctuary, and you got somebody in there that comes in there and it disrespects you, the home, everything. What are you going to do? Just sit back and say, "Hey, can I make you a cup of coffee?" It's and everybody's got. When I look at these four things, I think everybody's got the ability to have these emotions. It's just a matter of what levels people can control them. I think everybody's got a breaking point.
Yeah.
I think everybody at some time in their life feels insecure.
Yeah.
We're just human beings, and you could be the most successful person in the world and making all kinds of money, and then all of a sudden you lose everything. I'm going to feel pretty freaking insecure.
Yeah. Well, and also, I'm not real hip on the time frame, but if he's just there playing pool, having some people over, he's decompressing from either making a movie or whatever. So don't be coming in there causing a ruckus when it's supposed to be some just fun time with friends. Like, just act right. You know?
Yeah, what she say? Maxie says, "How defensive did they get?"
Oh yeah.
Let me find that comment.
There's a great interview with Red and Todd Slaughter, and one of the audience says, "Well, why didn't you just donate the proceeds to like a drug rehab then or whatever?" And Red
yeah.
is so freaking mad. He's like, "You mean say I did it for money? Because I did. I did it for money." Well, okay, thank you.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, Red seemed like the one that would be. Yeah, I did it for the money.
Yep.
What are you going to do? Kick my ass?
Yeah.
Only Elvis could kick my ass.
You know what they come back and say? Well, Elvis left us in such a bind. We had to do something.
God forbid you go work on your own. I mean, God forbid. We've all been working jobs before. Go find something to do.
I hate it when they use that expression. He didn't have a right to die. He didn't have a right to leave us in a bind. He didn't have a right to fire us. He never gave us an explanation why. Bullshit. They knew exactly why they
knew.
They
I mean,
knew.
Red says in Marty's book, they knew why it was the lawsuit. So they contradict themselves constantly.
Yeah, and that whole interview last week, Joe, with Sonny, just made it even clearer to me. Just their feeling about losing their jobs,
Mm-hmm.
and they resented it till the day they died. They resented it. And Dave Hebler, who hasn't passed on, he's still resent. I tell you what, he's
bitter. Well, I mean, Richard Davis was given a pink slip for getting hurt by Vernon. You didn't see him,
right?
Yeah,
go do weird stuff. Like, my goodness.
Yeah. Did he ever fire? Did he ever fire Lamar Fike at any time?
I hope so.
Yeah.
Probably.
And I hope it was in the most offensive way possible too.
Yeah.
Oh God! You wait till you hear that. Ugh.
I just re-listened to it the other day, and I was like,
"See, while I don't want to."
Yeah, but also he tells you he's not going to talk about things. He's not. I don't want to talk about that, but he sure talks about it everywhere else.
Yeah, I told Joe the other day he was kind of concerned about playing that Lamar fight tomorrow, but I told him I watched it, and Joe's feeling about it is different than how I get it. I think the video showcases just what an ass Lamar Fike is.
I agree,
and I don't think it's. I know how you feel, Joe, as far as saying how he treated you, but I think it's a badge of honor of how you responded.
Mm-hmm.
And then you just let him basically unknowingly probably let him be an ass.
Yeah, I agree.
How I responded, I shit my pants. It's terrible, Cameron. He's busy laughing.
It's like Kyle said, Charlie was fired. Charlie was asked to leave after Elvis died. He didn't go and do some crazy ass shit.
He didn't go write a tell-all book. Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, he wrote a nice little My Life with Elvis and great stories. Jerry, I questioned him more recently, but he went out and got another job. I don't think he's in my eyes, he's not in my favor very strongly right now, but I don't understand the whole situation. So, I know what you told me, Amy, and that makes me feel better.
Yeah, I think I think people forget, and when people are bashing Patsy Presley too, you were either in and followed the narrative or you're out. And the ones that truly cared about Lisa, I mean, did they stay in to keep an eye on her? I mean, you don't know, knowing what we know now from her book.
Yeah, Lamar claims he was fired several times. Melissa says, but the SOB wouldn't get out of the freaking house.
Yeah,
he was like
leave. Oh, okay, I'll go move in the bedroom upstairs.
He was like that fat little possum running around the house. You can't get a hold of him.
Yeah, Maxie. Lamar was sacked in 61, 62, went off to be road manager for Brenda Lee. It didn't last long. That's when Elvis got him the job with Hill and Rage.
Oh, all right. So let's pick up here. So where are we? We are Elvis and the word son of a bitch. This is interesting. Our fascinating detail. The chapter repeatedly focuses on Elvis reacting violently to insults toward his mother. Oh, I would too.
Yeah.
This becomes psychologically significant. The book suggests Gladys Presley occupied an almost sacred emotional place in Elvis's life.
Well, that was common knowledge even before the book came out.
Yeah.
Yeah, they all knew that.
Any insult involving his mother, his masculinity, humiliation could trigger emotional explosions.
Of course, and in my opinion, they knew it before the book came out, and in this book, they exploited it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, each one of those things, I would give a humiliation. I just kind of laugh it off. That's
Hmm.
just me. But the other two, and masculinity, I know who I am. But
Hmm.
Elvis is Elvis, and that's a different perspective because of how's he put it? The image is one thing, and the person is another.
Human being is another. Yeah.
Yeah, but when you attack your mother, especially with someone like Elvis who revered his mother, that's just
Yeah.
that's a no.
It basically happen to everybody if somebody says something bad about your mother, especially if she's no longer here.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's fighting words.
And
Yeah.
those guys knew that when they were saying that. They knew that was going to bite at him.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Yeah. Because I think when you remember they were writing this thinking he's still going to be here to read it. So
Yeah. Ooh. This theme later appears repeatedly in Elvis's literature, in Elvis literature. The Southern masculinity framework. Chapter 2 is deeply rooted in Southern male culture, which, folks, if you don't live in the South or have never lived in the South, it is a different world
mm-hmm.
when it comes to the culture of men and women. I mean, just today, when people hear about how life was back in the 50s and 60s, or even the 40s and 50s, my dad's told me a lot of things about because he grew up in the South. Um, you kind of raise your eyebrows. Really, they did that? Fathers and mothers would try to get their daughters out of the house earlier than usually at a younger age. And I wouldn't say try, that's not the right word, but they were willing to allow them to go out and get married, with their blessing. And it's just a different culture. I mean, the mother to me was more revered in the South than I feel in the other parts of the country. Though I'm not saying that they weren't revered to everyone else, but it was just something deep seated about that.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
So chapter 2 is deeply rooted in Southern male culture, which is fighting, loyalty, toughness, defending honor, protecting women, protecting friends. The authors repeatedly measure Elvis against these standards. That matters because many of Elvis's insecurities are framed as masculine insecurities.
Yeah.
Yeah, mama's boy. That when that's suggested, that attacks your masculinity.
Mm-hmm.
The way he dressed, a lot of people thought it looked rather pink. You know, some of the shirts he had were lacy, and
Pink and black. Yeah.
I thought
Mm-hmm.
they looked awesome on him.
Not many people get away with it.
He's the only one who could pull him up. Melissa says Kathy did the same thing to Elvis. Then she said she didn't know Gladys was his mother's name. How could she know? Oh yeah, that was when Kathy and Elvis got into it. She said, "Go find yourself another Gladys." And then when Elvis lost his mind over it, she's like, "Oh, I didn't know that was your mom's name, girl. Come on."
Yeah, really.
Girl, like my daughter would say, "Be so for real right now." Like, yeah, you did.
Wow. All right, so the Memphis Mafia Foundation. This chapter quietly explains how the Memphis Mafia formed psychologically. The book implies the group existed because Elvis needed protection, acceptance, loyalty, emotional safety. The entourage becomes less about fame. That's what the book is implying. Yeah. Well, you got a comment there, Cam?
BS.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah. So, and more about emotional survival. That is one of the chapter's strongest insights. Literary structure of the chapter. The chapter is carefully engineered. It progresses from awkward teenager, defended outsider, accepted friend, roughhousing, male bonding, emotional instability. The emotional intensity gradually increases. And by the end of the chapter, readers are no longer seeing Elvis as the king. And that is so true.
Yeah.
Just by what's read. Not that
They
I
wanted
my
to
mind.
take them, to humble them and take them down.
Yeah. Kick their build them up, kick them down.
I think the MM existed because Elvis didn't want to be alone. I think it sometimes, but I think if you really go back and see why some of them actually worked for Elvis, you'll find that they were not handpicked by Elvis.
Yeah.
I
That's
think
a whole rabbit hole on its own on each one, how they came to be there.
I think each one injected themselves into the story for their own personal reasons, and then tried to convince Elvis why they were there. And because Elvis was as loyal as he was, okay, what the hell, let them stay.
I mean, Lamar, you need to leave. Well, I mean, his answer wasn't good enough, so I didn't leave. That's not somebody that Elvis wanted there, obviously.
Yeah. I mean, what a kick in the nuts. Like, fuck off, dude. It's the end of the
that's
road.
Lamar's own
No.
words. That's not someone else's interpretation. Lamar says it. So.
And has no qualms about saying it.
Yeah, no. So I just took the brown bedroom upstairs, and there I was.
That whole arrogant. Every time I hear him talk, and I always, whenever I heard him talk, he just had this arrogance, like I could do whatever the hell I want to do.
Because I worked for Elvis Presley. Like,
yeah,
that's a whole psychological study on its own.
A lot of the guys in the group had the false sense that Elvis was Elvis because of them.
Yes.
Yeah. You're right, Patty. No matter what he wore, pink lace, anything, he never looked like. He never looked feminine.
Feminine.
The correct way to eat a feminine roll.
Yeah, I can't say it either unless I really concentrate on it.
Female.
Yo, what's your idea of the perfect girl?
Leaving us. Joe keeps hiding his face. I feel like there he is.
Do you ever notice if you're trying to hide a package from your loved one, they're the ones that always find it?
Yeah.
And that's what just happened.
Every time. Yep, every time. I'm better off if I don't say anything about it.
Yeah.
Or if I say something's coming, make sure it goes in my room, like around Christmas for the kids. And no.
I guess we're going to talk after the show.
My wife did that one time. On eBay, there was this person that they had gone down to the local libraries because some of them were closing, and they bought a lot of books. And so they had a lot of Elvis books that I had never had. So I bought a whole bunch of them from them, and I got them like for $2-3 each.
Nice.
Some really nice books. Well, every time I got a new book in, my wife would say, "How many books you going to get?" And I go, "I guess until I I don't have any in our room, or I no longer am qualified or able to read." So one day, so that when I ordered those books, I didn't tell her.
Yeah, that's probably the best way to go.
But my big mistake was forgetting that when they were delivered, the only way I'm going to get them into my room is her bringing them to me because I can't pick up the mail. That didn't stick with me. So I'm sitting here. I've got this bench that I use. That is a long bench. It's got it's on wheels, and I'm out like a light. All of a sudden, I hear this boom, right on top of my table. It's a huge, big, freaking box of books. She goes, "Don't tell me these are books." I said, "Oh, okay, I won't."
Okay, I won't tell you. We won't talk about it.
She goes, "Why do you need somebody?" I said, "I got them all for $10 or whatever."
Yeah, they never believe that.
Yeah, no.
I get a lot of promo stuff coming because of Rockwell and that and other things. She never believes it. To this day, she does not believe about promo records.
Well, now that the channel's doing good, she understands why I did it. And she supports it now. But back then, it was just like, you'll never read all these. I go, "You want to bet?"
Want to bet me? Yeah, I've got 3 bookshelves full.
This chair and table for Aaron for his birthday.
Okay.
All right, so they're seeing him. Did I read all that? Yeah. So they're seeing him as damaged, insecure, emotionally combustible. That transformation is deliberate. The more I was going through these and putting this together, because I just wanted to kind of have a little bit of the thought in my head. I was getting furious,
Yeah.
and I had to stop several times just to kind of calm down because it just I just could picture these three guys sitting in a hotel room interviewing and spilling all the or what they believe is all the dirty laundry, the skeleton in the closet, and expanding on it, and it just how it just goes to show you they were never friends of Elvis ever.
No.
Employees.
They were employees, yeah.
Put anybody else's name into
That.
those situations
Hmm.
and have them react the way Elvis did, they would have said, "Oh, but that's human nature. Anybody's going to do that."
Look at
But
Alec Guinness, who punches reporters. Sean Penn. Can you imagine Elvis ever doing that?
I'm sure he wanted to at times,
Well, yeah, but and they just get away with it. But yeah, you're right, Cam. Yeah,
And on the human aspect, like Cam pointed out, human nature with anybody else. But on the flip side, when they're telling these bad things about Elvis, it's, oh, well, he was human. He was human like the rest of us.
yeah,
They use that as an excuse to be like, well, I can tell what I want because, I mean, he was human. Well, no kidding.
yeah.
Like, that's like saying someone's his first cousin. I mean, obviously, he's human. Like, I get so tired of hearing that.
But
Yeah.
well,
what's being said next by the end of the chapter?
he's one of
As the king.
he's one of the people I've never heard any one person have so many first cousins than Elvis.
I know.
I know. I got a lot of first cousins, but I think he had more. My dad had 15 brothers and sisters, so I have a lot of cousins from him who I've never met. But
Yeah.
I think Elvis had quite.
I mean, I have a ton of first cousins that they wouldn't know anything about my life to speak on it. So that's just.
And I mean that by the fact that they claim to be cousins. Some of them, well, some of them are, but anyway, that's a different episode.
With magnets on the side of a limousine. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, something like that.
I think I'm going to get one made for Elvis Week. I don't know what it's going to say yet, but maybe Stupid Amy.
Yeah, there you go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We'll have to talk about that later. All right, the historical value of this chapter. Strong historical value. Patty says, I have 50 first cousins. Man, imagine that family.
True.
Holy shit.
Imagine if they all talked about you after you were no longer here.
Yeah.
Natalie, my mom's cousins and some of my dad's cousins know of me, but they don't know me as a person. Yeah. I don't think anyway, that's a different story. So strong historical value. School environment, Elvis's appearance, social awkwardness, Memphis youth culture, early friendship dynamics, emotional dependence on loyalty. And then the weak historical value is the exact dialogue, dramatic confrontation, emotional interpretations, reconstructed scenes. I got to kind of look at that again and understand what they're saying. So they're saying the strongest values are the, yeah.
Oh, I think they're building up the backstory of how Elvis got there and how they got there.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Awkwardness and his shyness and his emotion. Yeah,
that makes sense. Yeah, and then the weak historical value is exact dialogue. That's the one that kind of throws me. Dramatic confrontations, emotional interpretations, reconstructed scenes.
Yeah, I think they're saying why it's weak is because who can remember exact dialogue, verbatim.
Yeah, when I read that last one, then it made sense about the exact dialogue, reconstructed scenes. I would certainly hope that Dunleavy interviewed each one separately.
That's a good question because I know, with Nash, I think they were all separate for Revelations.
Yeah.
But it'd be interesting to know if I think I've heard Dave say they were all in that hotel room.
That makes for a bad. That makes for a bad researcher. You don't put three guys in the same room because they say, "Oh yeah, and then and you know how those three guys are.
Mm-hmm.
But when you get three separate ones, you're going to get three freaking viewpoints.
Mm-hmm.
I think every time.
Yeah.
Maxie, how do you tell the world that all you ever were was a leech?
Yeah.
I wonder who she's talking about. And use someone for your own benefit. You have to make up a different narrative to save face.
Yep.
Yeah, you're dead on right. Yeah,
Mhm.
Patty agree. Yeah, perfect comment. Thank you. The biggest takeaway, chapter 2 is not really about teenage Elvis. One, yeah, it's about constructing the psychological blueprint for Elvis of 1977. The authors are telling the readers the tragedy didn't begin in Vegas. It began with insecurity, loneliness, and emotional fragility long before fame arrived. That is the real purpose of the chapter. So these guys know Elvis's emotional, think what he thought when he in his youth.
Apparently they were time travelers.
Oh, they're freaking that's incredible.
It really is.
I and they're still. I'm surprised they're not still around.
I mean, I'm surprised they didn't do more with that gift. Really, I mean, they could have used it on more people besides Elvis, right?
They step inside of a telephone booth and they go to a different time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Or stepped beside a urinal.
And again, it's not only relevant to Elvis, it's relevant to every single human being out there. Every person is gonna have a perception of the next person. Nobody unveils absolutely 100% of who they are to every single person. Every single person, by virtue of human nature, wears a mask in every situation.
Yes.
There's not one person that has ever walked the face of this earth and that will ever walk this face of this earth that will show absolute 100% transparency of who they are as a person. It's
Mhm.
impossible.
I agree.
Yeah, Mac.
So
Well, go ahead, Cam. I'm sorry.
so to imply that they knew Elvis 100%, no bullshit. You guys knew what he wanted you to know.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So Maxie says, which I agree. Don Levy was the biggest tabloid journalist of the day, and he was.
Mm-hmm.
Now these guys approached by Don Levy, or they approach him. Do we know who it was? Who approached who? I would imagine those guys approached him. But
Mhm.
anyway,
I think they were connected to Dunleavy by someone, but still working on that. So.
Oh, that'd be interesting to know. But here you want to. Dunleavy was like Maxie says, one of the biggest journalists. He had written stories about Elvis. You know the tabloid type stories. There was some by him, and so they knew what he was like. So you think I want to tell my story. Who do I choose to tell my story?
Mhm.
Do
Yeah.
I go to a reputable writer,
Exactly.
or do I go to the guy who's going to sell things because he can, for lack of a better term, apply it to that day, he gets clicks.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah,
the tablet, the head,
Scandal factor. Yeah.
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 yeah. Am I gonna go to a reputable author and tell my story, or am I gonna go to the dumbass author that's gonna push my shitty ass narrative? Okay,
Because
let's
the
go to this
reputable
guy
author
because it's
going to
yeah,
make you verify your story. They're going to be like, okay, we want backup for these claims, so we don't get sued. Yeah.
exactly, and the reputable author would have turned around purely from a respect perspective and said, "No, I'm not gonna print this shit because my reputation's on the line."
I'm curious to wonder if they actually did approach some reputable authors first, and he shot them down.
That would
I
be
wouldn't. I wouldn't be surprised if they were shot down. I would if I was a reputable
I
author.
don't want to write that about Elvis. No, I'm not going to write that. I'm not a tabloid writer. I'm not going to write that.
Yeah, it had to be somebody with a tabloid background. That was the only way it was going to work.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I would have. Not that he wrote the best biographies, but he read. I think he read a good one. Was Jerry Hopkins wrote a good book. I would go to him before I went to Steve Dunleavy and tell my story. But Jerry Hopkins wasn't that type of writer, but he wasn't also a trash writer either.
I don't think you would have done it.
No.
Another thing that crossed my mind while we're talking about this, wouldn't it have just been easier for them to go to a TV network? Why didn't they go to a TV network? They would have got the message out quicker.
But it would have been a one-off.
Exactly.
It would
But
have told
still,
a story, but they wouldn't have made money just for one appearance. They're making money.
there we go.
Of course, I think they were paid a flat fee. I don't think they had royalties.
There we go. Exactly. But
No.
the logical part of it says, go to a TV network. They'll put out. Even in those days, you say, I come from Elvis Inner Circle. I want to do an interview. I'll sell you my story for X amount. I want to talk about Elvis. Why didn't the TV stations touch them? Because they knew they were talking a crock of shit.
Yeah.
I remember all the talk. I mean, it was big news when that book came out. And,
Geraldo and the 2020 thing. And yeah, there was plenty of those things they could
Yeah.
have gone to,
yeah.
but it wasn't as lucrative, probably.
I never thought much of Geraldo.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, I heard when he started out of the drug stuff, and he
He was the only one that gave Dee Stanley a platform for her attempted book, so I never thought much of that either.
no, yeah,
I don't think he thought a lot of Elvis, so he was trying to discredit him.
I know when Elvis died, he said, "Oh, I'm a big fan of Elvis. It's such a big loss." And then when they saw an opportunity to start getting those the ratings. Oh, here's a story from D. I can guarantee you, he picked the phone himself. Said, "Hey,
Shoot, I skipped school that day to watch that. I think I was in junior high.
Mama."
Did you really?
Mm-hmm. I would sit home and record on the VCR. I'm aging myself. I still have them. Inside Edition, Current Affair, all of just little clips.
Oh wow!
And I skipped school that day to I guess I was archiving all this stuff before the internet existed. I just wanted it for myself, And I pretended to be sick that day so I could stay home and watch it. And then I was really mad until JD about came out of his chair and I was like, "Get her."
Yeah. Oh, I know. He was.
Get her.
Even Joe, was getting riled up about it. But you could tell just watching Dee's reactions. You could tell she was just flat out busted.
Oh, I liked it. Yeah.
And that wasn't set up either, because that wasn't set up.
Well, all right. So now we are into chapter 3. We actually made it to the other half. So chapter 3 leaves us 19 left to go. Chapter 3 is one of the most controversial chapters in the entire book. Unlike 1 and 2, which focuses on friendship and early personality, this chapter presents one specific incident that the authors use to illustrate what they see as Elvis's most dangerous character flaw. And this is going to be interesting. Satin, smartasses thought they were going to make plenty of money. Turned out to be dumbasses.
Yeah. Didn't Dave say they only made cents of each pennies on each book or something?
Yeah. It just goes to show you they were just anxious to get the story out, and they I'm sure they got hoodwinked on the
and some quick cash.
Yeah.
I'm surprised the book didn't sell better. I mean, there's a lot of people out there that are smart. I mean, I understand that, but there's a lot of people that don't like Elvis either. So I'm surprised it didn't make more money than it did.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd be curious to pull up what the whole figures were.
And it sold 3 million, but we got to preface that with what did it sell 77, 78?
Yeah, I'd be interested.
When did it go out of print? When did it stop being? All those things factor into that.
Yeah. Go ahead, Kim.
Strange to note, these guys knew Elvis from way back in the day, but they can only think of one specific incident to reference his character on. Strange.
Wow. His inability to control his temper.
His temperature?
Yeah.
I have that inability, so my temperature. Yeah.
When he felt personally insulted. The chapter centers on a Hollywood house party in 1963 and on an incident involving a young woman identified only as Judy.
Judy.
The author, my first wife's name. The authors used the event to build a larger argument about power, loyalty, emotional volatility, celebrity entitlement,
Oh my God.
the Memphis Mafia's willingness to excuse Elvis's behavior. Okay.
I should have opened that bottle of wine before this one. Okay, but anyway.
They excuse him when he has bad behavior. They no bullshit. They let him do whatever he wants because they don't want to lose your job.
And what about their bad behavior?
Yeah.
That doesn't count.
Mm-hmm.
Did Sonny and Red and Dave ever change their last name to
What was he talking about?
to
First
Presley?
cousins.
Yeah, they didn't have to. They'd use it as a personal game with that. They didn't need it.
That's never going to go away.
No, it's not. It's gonna be forever there.
Hi, Kathleen.
I like my video I put out today. Had fun with that one.
You've been on fire the whole time, but the last couple.
Yeah, I get in the mood. Hey, just joining in, having the computer and flash drive issues driving me crazy. No, I hate it when I have a flash drive issue.
Melissa.
What Melissa say? Natalie, no, Hebler is too busy hiding from the.
I mean, you guys know what happened last year, right? Why he couldn't come to.
No.
He tangled himself up in his own duvet cover and fell. Now, I'm not for anyone hurting themselves.
Big,
but,
big.
You know, death by duvet. Not
death by duvet.
You know, the big tough guy tangled in his own duvet because he hurt himself and couldn't come to work.
How do you get tangled in a duvet?
He laid out the whole story on his Facebook. If you'd like to go read it, I'm sure it's still.
I think I will do that. That's another note I need to put down there. Read.
I was murdered, but I was murdered by cotton.
I don't want to sound stupid. What the hell is a duvet?
You have like a comforter and you have a cover that goes over it, so you can just pull that cover off and wash it versus trying to find a laundromat big enough to wash your whole big down comforter type of thing.
Okay.
I remember when I first got married.
Thwarted by the bedding.
All I ever knew was just the covers and a bedspread growing up. And then, so she went shopping one day. She says, I need this. And I go, what are they for? She goes, for the bed. So she puts the sheets on, puts the other top sheet on, then puts on a blanket, then puts on a comforter, then puts on a duvet. I go,
God.
Good Lord. She goes, well,
we'll you should try to hold the duvet down and just use the blankets so you have to wash the duvet as much. Yeah, it's the whole thing.
Wow. Okay.
She claims he could beat Bruce Lee, but yeah.
He claims he could, yeah, well.
Yeah.
He's out of that whole group of Memphis Mafia. Him and Jerry are the only ones left, right?
Billy.
Oh, wait a minute, Sam. I don't know if would you consider Sam actually Memphis Mafia?
Yeah, I would.
I mean, sometimes they go by original, like who was original.
Yeah, what how I look at it is Memphis Mafia were the assholes, and everyone else was the security and friends. That's just, I mean, that's just how I put it in.
Yeah.
I don't think you could call them the Memphis Mafia.
You wouldn't call Sam the Memphis Mafia?
No.
Yeah, I wouldn't either. Or Grove. I wouldn't consider Grove.
He was much too late, and he wasn't a part of the assholes. I mean, I really don't think so. I don't think he really makes himself not Memphis Mafian.
Yeah.
But if asshole is the gauge, then we could put Grove in there.
What? Yeah, I mean, I knew the guy, but yeah, you could.
We're gonna have to make a template, like did this happen? Yes, then you are Memphis Mafia. Did this happen? Yeah. Okay.
Nice little diagram.
Do you feel this way? Yeah, you're Memphis Mafia.
Maybe that's why the older guys never liked referring to themselves as the mafia, because they used exactly that gauge. Those guys are the idiots and the assholes of the group. We don't want to be associated with that. So we just refer to ourselves as ourselves.
Kathleen is sending you a special hello, Cam.
Oh, hello, Kathleen. I do apologize. For not seeing the comments. I shall be more attentive.
There should be a book called Death by Duvet.
The story of Dave Hebler.
Satin says they call it a quilt. Yeah, that's what kind of a quilt.
Yeah.
Hmm. All right, section 1, the Hollywood Elvis. Oh, this is going to be an interesting one. And all the shenanigans they went through doing all that. So the chapter opens in 1963. According to Sonny West, Elvis is earning millions annually, living. We don't even need to know Sonny says it because we know he did. Living in luxury homes, surrounded by friends, filming movies,
And they didn't partake in that?
maintaining a large
Just a
entourage.
thought.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, they were part of that. They were with them. They were part of the large entourage.
Enjoying all the
Hmm.
benefits of such. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
on their measly $35 a week or
Yeah.
week, a month, or week salary. Come on,
Mm.
Never gave them enough.
but they had
Mm.
they had they were fed, they were quartered, they were, and they had
What
all,
was that Lamar said? More ass than a toilet seat. Yeah.
yeah,
I bet if you really asked them hard enough or really went down into the gist of the situation, I bet they had even had a choice between single ply and double ply.
Mm-hmm. Short order cooks making whatever they wanted.
yeah,
Jeez, what a shitty job. I would hate that kind of
Sounds
job.
exhausting.
Fuck, have to be on duty 24 hours a day. Can have restaurant quality food 24 hours a day. Fucking have to go on holiday all the time. Doesn't
Hmm.
cost me
Go to
anything.
Hawaii. Yeah.
What a fucking pathetic existence. I
and,
would hate that. No.
yeah, and then you got to write a book about it afterwards.
Yeah.
And then I get a measly $7 a week for it. Really?
You don't think the cooks have the right to write a book about it or something like that?
Nancy Brooks has a fantastic
Yeah,
book.
it's a really good
Hers is
book.
full of little gems that just yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, it's a very good book. She loved
I
that.
enjoy the book.
It's
And
like
Mary Jenkins' book is really good as well. It's really pricey to find it now, but
I've got it, but I
I got it
haven't
from
read it.
Mary back in the day.
I've got it on PDF, but I haven't read it in a long time.
I mean, there's a lot of people that don't like many of the Memphis Mafia, but a lot of them also say, I mean, they went right out and they wrote a book. They have the right to. They lived it.
Yeah.
Is it true or not? Well, that's up to you with whatever you take from it.
Yeah, I think on that aspect, yeah, everybody's got a right to write a book. It's the motive for writing the book that got them. Yeah, they went out and write a book. They could have gone and written a book and told the great stories of what they've had with Elvis very easily.
Hmm.
Hmm.
All these great stories, and throw in little tidbits in here and there, and
Yeah.
spice it up a little bit. But you don't have to be like this. And they probably would have. I bet you they would have made more money off of that than
Hmm.
they did off this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Well, it's like we were listening to Sunny last week, and we were like, "Did he say anything? Did he ever say anything nice about Elvis?" I mean, yeah, there's bad times with everybody, but I
Yeah.
mean, Mary Jenkins said she's self-published because any publisher wanted her to give dirt, and she's like, "I don't have any.
Yeah.
He was always
Hmm.
so good to me and my family. Like, I'm not going to make something up."
Yeah, she you could tell when in some of there was a couple of interviews. Was she the one that was on David Letterman with her cooked that
Yeah,
the banana sandwich? Yeah,
Yeah.
what a sweet lady.
she was precious.
Mm.
She used
Um,
to hang out at Marlowe's too and talk to people all the
oh,
time.
does she? Is she
She
still?
used to, yeah. Back in the '90s, she used to.
She's gone though now, isn't she?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Sad. All right, so the contrast with earlier chapters is dramatic. The shy Memphis kid is gone. Now Elvis occupies a world of mansions, parties, expensive cars, celebrity privilege. They almost sound like they're jealous of the fact that he had money.
Mhm.
Yeah. Like they were totally separate to that. Fuck these
Like they
guys.
did a lot of his money as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
One thing that made me think about when I was reviewing this is when I look at the group that were around him, the ones that really seemed to be jealous and envious of him were the ones that actually were with him before fame.
Sure.
The ones that weren't don't seem to have ever really,
Yeah.
you think about it, Lamar Fike was there
Mm.
before, Sonny, Red, um, Charlie came in during the army. I don't really consider him because he didn't know Elvis
Yeah.
before he
Right.
got famous. So everybody that knew Elvis before he became famous, you would think that they would be the ones that Elvis should have trusted the most.
Hmm.
But
But
no, they were jealous because Elvis was the one that
the
got
God.
the fame and they didn't.
Do you
Exactly.
think that they didn't think that his flash in the pan, whatever they called it, would last? So they were just there for a little bit, for not here for a long time, here for a good time type of thing. and then it lasted way longer than. I mean, here we still are talking about him.
I asked
So
many of them, "Would you like to have been Elvis?" And, "Oh no, no, no,
Yeah.
bullshit."
bullshit.
Well, yeah, they really.
I just
I
listened
would
to one
want.
of yours the other day where I heard you ask one of them, and I don't think it was Lamar. It was another one, and they were like, "No." I'm like, "Come on, yeah, you would."
Melissa says, bottom line is, it seems all of them
Hmm.
except Elvis. In Yancey's book, she admits shit, it disappeared off me.
She helped Priscilla send letters to Mike Stone, and she was,
Oh yeah,
arguably, people say she was Vernon's secretary, but she was still getting paid by Elvis. Yeah, she was mailing out stuff for Priscilla, probably little racy photos.
I wonder if Elvis knew how much money he was actually putting out a month.
I doubt it.
I doubt it. I doubt it, and he didn't give a shit anyways. You
No,
know,
and why should he?
he knew that if they came to him and said, "Listen, we're broke, we got to do something," he'd say, "Book a tour,"
Book a tour. Yeah.
and next thing you know, he's got millions again.
I mean,
Yeah,
he would say it's just money, Daddy. I'll go make more.
What was he basically making for a show? Do you know, Amy?
I think it would depend on the venue, how many
Yeah,
tickets sold, prices, but I can work that out.
yeah. I
You
think
know you can.
I think he, if I remember correctly, and yeah, Amy will be able to let us know. But the number that stands in my mind was he would bring home $100 to $150,000 a show. Of
Yeah.
course, then he had all his bills and everything to pay. But you think about that. You think about going on stage for 3 or 4. You think about the whole part of the show. You walk away. You go home with say $90,000. You remember the remark he said to Charlie at one time, or was it Charlie or Jerry when he began the remark? He said, "You know how much we just made off that tour?" And I think that was the first time one of the few times that he realized what the numbers were, and it was a huge freaking number. And he
Mhm.
said, all I need is to go on tour if I need money.
I think that's why he got so disenchanted with Vegas too, because
Oh,
it wasn't lucrative like that, but it was a
yeah.
much longer engagement.
And
Yeah,
plus,
it was
I would have gotten bored. To me, it would have been. I would have gotten it would have just been monotonous.
Been
just
like in a cage.
just think if he was here now, making the money that bands and that make now, he would be blown away because they
Oh,
make a
Well,
lot
the
of
cost of tickets. Oh
yeah,
my God.
money.
What do you pay for these
five
tickets
six
these
hundred
days?
dollars. Wasn't paying the musicians and venue. Yes, that was coming out of his portion. So I think that's why Rick said 150,000. He'd probably get 90. Yeah,
Yeah.
everything came out of Elvis's side. So
Yeah,
it was split down the middle. Colonel kept his part, and then Elvis had to pay the expenses
Not
expenses of his
not
part.
bad for a night's worth of work.
Should have been expenses off the top and then the split, but that's not how it worked.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, that was and I think in one aspect he didn't really care, but because he didn't care about money, but I think I'm pretty sure there were times like he knew he knew Parker was ripping him off. He had to.
I
That
think
was
I think that last year with him being sick and having to cancel, and then owing Priscilla money, she upped the payoff of everything. I think that last year he was probably like,
yeah, it's a shame. Um, all right, so we got to that part. Let me get my mouse back over here. The authors intentionally create a feeling that Elvis has become insulated from normal consequences. Hmm, I don't know.
I
Uh,
mean, to a point, probably, because you've got people working for you, and so you're not in the everyday world.
yeah, he doesn't have.
Even shit that I would face consequences for, like running my mouth at the stoplight or something, but because somebody's driving you. But
Yeah, he had a lot of fringe benefits for being who he was, but he also had a lot of disadvantages, and so yeah, I could see that he became insulated. I don't know how they're going to really define that in this chapter, but um,
no,
yeah,
I don't think that's a question. How much was Elvis worth towards the end? I mean, it's hard to say because Vernon downplayed a lot when stuff was probated. So when those numbers come out and people are like, oh, it's only, I mean, we have what his cash was and his checking was $1 million.
yeah, yeah,
Had like very little in the savings. But when they talk about the estate as a whole and what it was valued at in probate, you have to keep in mind Vernon did not count all that stuff in there, and wisely so,
well,
because of taxes. So there's that. So we'll probably never really know Yeah.
You would think he had a lot more than $1 million.
Oh,
Everybody did.
Yeah, I think
all good Southerners have a cash stash. So if mine is a couple hundred for mad money if something happens, Elvis's was probably
A little can with cash buried out in the yard somewhere.
yeah.
Buried in the backyard. Yeah.
Problem with Anita doing that strange. Okay, so the next part, section 2, the Memphis Mafia system. One of the chapter's strongest themes appears on page 28. Sonny describes Elvis's hospitality and generosity. They got clothes, they got Cadillacs, they had parties, they had access, and a friendship. But these gifts allegedly came with an expectation, absolute loyalty. Well,
you would think.
What's wrong with that?
But also, I don't think that was Elvis's intent in giving.
No.
I mean, I just listened to a thing with Lisa where she was like, he just wanted, if he got a dog, he wanted everybody to have a dog. If he got a horse, he wanted everybody to, it was, I'm going to bring you along with me to experience this.
Why is that, do you think? Why?
I think it's a couple of things. I think it's, he never forgot what it was like to go without. I don't think he ever forgot that.
Yeah.
And I mean, unless you've been raised in poverty, I mean, I was raised, we did not have a lot of money. And that's something that always kind of sticks in your head. And then I think he just had a giving nature. I mean, that's documented in Tupelo. He was giving kids his toys when he didn't have anything. So, and I think these are my friends, and I don't want to sit here and eat, if I was eating a banana split and you guys were here like, oh, F off, watch me eat this, I would buy you all ice cream. It's like that, but just on a really bigger scale, I think.
I guess.
Yeah. I don't think he ever had the thought that you have to be 100% loyal to me. Absolutely. No. But I'm sure that he expected it.
He expected it because he was.
And he deserved it. He absolutely deserved it. The authors repeatedly suggest that Elvis's generosity created emotional obligations. This becomes one of the book's recurring arguments. Elvis gave people so much that many found it difficult to challenge him.
Well, that's their own problem.
Yeah. If you don't have a spine, you shouldn't be working for him.
No.
You think about, he appreciated when people were, even if it was opposite or maybe just a little bit of, hey, listen, Elvis, I think that's wrong and everything. The approach and everything to Elvis is, Elvis could take it, or if you did it in an attacking way, of course he didn't want it. And the example I give is like with Marty Pacetta and Steve Bender. When Elvis asked him right out flat, "What do you think of my career?"
Mm-hmm.
Steve was, interested in doing the show, and the first thing he says, "I think it's in the toilet."
Yeah.
And Marty Pacetta says, "You're a little overweight."
And Elvis appreciated that. He tells Marty, "I don't have many people outside my circle that will talk to me and tell me." Yeah.
And I'm sure that made him think, why don't my guys say this shit to me?
Or is it because I don't know how to say this. Maybe they didn't know enough in the industry, the guys, so he didn't want their opinion on those things.
Yeah, I mean, true.
Do you think it was true that he actually went outside with him? Nobody had noticed him.
Yeah, Steve Bender tells that story.
Well,
I don't believe it. No, I don't believe it.
We got some stuff about Bender too, so we'll talk about that later.
Well, also, they also did it right in front of NBC Studios, and that's not exactly a high traffic area. It's all cars. It's mostly cars.
Yeah,
people aren't looking at people.
Not pedestrian traffic.
Yeah, it wasn't pedestrian traffic because I know where it was walked. That they claim that he walked, and that's just it's almost right outside the gates, and
yeah, you wouldn't be getting hordes of people walking by and just ignoring him. Yeah, but there's another one. That's right.
Is that Elvis? No.
And it could be one of those things like that couldn't be Elvis. Like there's no way he.
Yeah, that's how I would look at it. Dude, look, that looks a lot like Elvis. But they had seen the movies where he had the sideburns and all. So
he's standing right outside the studios.
Yeah, you don't have a high traffic area. That's all car traffic.
That's all car traffic. And plus, we have that one home movie footage. I think it's Clam Bake, where he's offset, but they're still kind of working, and he's surrounded by people doing autographs, and that's not far from that time frame. So
Heck, I hear. Is that my phone buzzing?
Yep.
Son of a bitch! I don't even know where my phone is.
maybe it's a call for jury duty.
On the table somewhere.
Jury duty, yeah.
You're not sitting up, are you?
Huh?
I've done that.
Okay, I have no idea where the freaking phone is. Can't be that important. Oh, wait a minute. Duh. It's right there
On
underneath.
the table somewhere.
I covered it up with the Elvis book.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, of course, it's a spam call. All right, so where are we at? We were talking about Elvis. Of course.
Oh, wait, Melissa says that story is impossible. Elvis is trying to get people to notice him, and they didn't. Ridiculous.
It doesn't jive.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't-
That makes a lot of sense. I never looked at it from that perspective. I
And Bender's
I have heard Bender say some things that I don't.
yeah.
They seem to change. Some of those stories kind of changed over the years. I don't think he ever flat out lied, but I think he expanded.
He twisted. I mean, just like the sit down show wasn't his idea. He says it was.
Well, isn't that his biggest story? Basically, when people think of him when he walked Elvis out there.
Mm-hmm. It's like a tall tale. It's like
Yeah, yeah.
Oh.
Mr.
Oh.
Bender, come in and talk to us, please. I mean, that'd be cool, huh?
Do you think do you think he told Elvis his career was in the toilet?
I think he might. I think that maybe not in those terms, but I mean, I think it was appreciated people being.
He needed that. He needed that because of the colonel. He needed to give him a fighting spirit.
Take carefully.
What?
Like an intelligent Amy
He
shirt.
was an intelligent Amy, smart Amy, smart Amy.
Smart Amy.
That's what it should say on the back.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Or a middle finger on the back of it. Yeah.
funny. All right. So the authors repeatedly suggest that Elvis's generosity created emotional obligations. This became one of the book's recurring arguments. Section 3, the party atmosphere. The party itself is important. The house is described as crowded, glamorous, full of women, full of friends, centered around entertainment. A large game room and pool table become the setting for the chapter's main event.
What year is this? 63?
63.
Okay.
I think is what it said. 63.
Yeah, I think so.
This is more than a location. Symbolically, it represents Elvis's kingdom. Well,
He worked for it.
maybe, it was his. How can you fault somebody other than outside of just being pure freaking jealous?
Mm-hmm.
The fact that he spends his money on what he wants to spend.
Yeah, it's crazy.
He spends his money on you.
Yeah, spent a lot of it on him.
When he gets he didn't have to take them all on vacation either,
Right?
and he did. And their families and their children, and yeah.
Why did they all have to go to Hollywood with him when making movies so they could have roles in the movies? That would cost money.
Yeah,
They were on his honeymoon, weren't they? Didn't they go to Hawaii at the same time?
they sure were.
Oh, golly, gee whiz.
Sure, baby, give me your kiss. Will you guys get out of the way?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because Joe talks about hearing them argue through the wall.
Really? Wow.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so Elvis's kingdom. What do you think, Cam?
Yeah, again, if they hated it, why didn't they just fucking leave?
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't let the door hit you.
Just they wanted the benefits of his lifestyle,
Yeah.
but then they have the audacity to fucking throw him under the bus for how dare you. Well, excuse me, he was fucking born with a God-given talent and decided to follow his dreams.
Mm-hmm.
Is it his fault that you guys became fucking Burger King guzzling idiots that were dependent on him for even pulling toilet paper through your ass? No, it's not his fault.
Right. I love you, Cam.
These guys just fucking sicken me. The further we get into this whole narrative of how dare Elvis, I mean, fuck you up. He literally gave his life to these fucking idiots, and they still faulted him for it.
And literally stole from him as he was being wheeled out the front door.
I love you, Cam.
I love you, Joe.
I love you too, Amy. Rick, hi.
Medical bills thing. Well, they liked tagging along with the money train. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, and what they all had wives, and they leave them behind to go out and.
Mm-hmm.
It would be hard not.
And then blame Elvis for that too. That's my favorite. No, you were there because you wanted to be.
It would be hard not to do that.
Yeah.
You know, I'm a nice person. I've never screwed anybody over, but it would be awfully hard not to jump that train if you could get it. You know,
Yeah.
I'm trying to be. You
Love
know,
you too, Kathleen. Kathleen loves us all.
Kathleen, yeah. She makes me laugh.
somebody loves me.
It's like, you know, okay, we pretty much determined that these guys were fucking worms, right? But still, don't you have any self-pride and
Yes.
self-respect
They didn't.
to say no, that okay, this has come to the end of the road. It was good while it lasted, or
Mm-hmm.
whatever your reason is. I'm getting out. Okay, I have to go and try and make a life for myself so that I can look after my own family. But instead, no, they
Yeah.
turn around and, oh my God, Elvis died and he didn't have a right to die, because what the fuck is going to be? Is that his problem?
I'll never
Right.
forget he said that.
But they all speak of, oh, how difficult times were when they grew up in Memphis, and oh, they grew up in the housing projects, and
Mm-hmm.
blah blah blah. Exactly. They were fucking jealous because Elvis was given a God-given talent, and he had a desire and motivation and ambition to
Yep.
make something of his life, because to give back to his parents that literally spent everything they could to give him a semi-decent life. He made something of his life and they didn't, and now it's his fault
Exactly.
for leaving them in the lurch. I mean, really?
Yeah,
Is
Melissa.
it-
Melissa says, "So what do you think about the rest of the guys keeping in touch with Delbert, Red, and Heber after the book?"
I don't think they did. Ew, I don't know. Did any?
Yeah, they did. There's plenty of pictures of them.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, they all sat down and did all the King's Men.
You know, and it pains me to say what I'm about to say because of who she is, but I can understand Priscilla's frustration.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
can do on that. Yeah.
You know, you're no matter what her motive was, which I think I think I know what her motive was for marrying him, but even at that, you still want you want privacy, you want your own life.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't marry a band of brothers.
Yeah.
You married one man, and you know when you marry somebody, you know their friends come along, but they don't live with you and go everywhere with you, and sit in the room next door to you when you're consummating your marriage. You know, it's just
Probably peeking through the peephole like they did with Aunt Margaret.
Yeah,
Mhm.
they were there when Lisa Marie was made. Because didn't she get pregnant really quick?
Like at the Palm Springs house,
yeah.
right? Well, they think it's at the Circle G, the trailer.
Yeah, she was born exactly 9 months later.
So yeah,
Oh.
Lamar's probably outside the window, peeking in the trailer.
I want to buy this.
That doesn't surprise me. The I'm with you, Cam. The more and more I hear this, the more and more pissed I get
Like,
it.
really?
Maxie says Lamar could never have gotten it any other way.
No, he had never gotten any.
Yeah.
You-
It would have caused caused the Category 9 earthquake.
You would Red come and say, "Hey, baby LaFar, I got one for you. She'll be up to the room." She walk out the door and go, "Hell no!" Turn around and walk back away.
Mhm.
Well, that's what the hookers did.
I mean, I would have done a lot of things to get to Elvis, but Lamar Fike would not have been one of those things.
You do him, you can meet Elvis. Yeah.
No. Or any of them for that matter.
I'll
Like,
do Elvis.
Oh yeah, Lamar.
and I think Lamar did
No.
have. Did he have? I think he had kids,
Not as far as I know.
but I think he died of the. I think one of the obituaries I saw was that he died alone with his cats.
Really?
Mhm.
Yeah. Oh, but he
What a
was a
life.
cat man.
What a lonely life that would be.
I
And one
nearly
of his
said
nephews worked at Graceland.
I nearly said something. I leave it open to imagination.
Well,
Well,
I
that's
imagine
wide
this
open
is
for
going
me.
50 different directions.
You're getting more like me.
I
All right.
nearly, I nearly put my foot in it. Moving on.
That would be weird.
Yeah. I don't even want to know now.
What the hell did I do to my freaking shirt?
Everyone present knows who Elvis is, wants his approval, adjusts to his moods. The authors are building a court-like atmosphere around him. Section 4, the mood swing. The critical detail often overlooked. Sonny notes Elvis is already irritated before the incident occurs. Specifically, missing shots at pool, becoming frustrated, showing signs of agitation.
Oh, bullshit.
This is important because the authors want readers to understand the explosion wasn't caused by Judy. The explosion was already brewing. The insult simply triggered it.
How do they know that?
How they know? Lamar had 3 children:
Mm.
Joan, James, and John.
I knew he had kids.
Joan passed away before Lamar.
Do they look like him or the milkman?
I don't know. We'll pull that up later.
He's terrible. Look like Sonny. No,
Oh my God. Wait a minute. Hold on a second.
This is all for entertainment purposes only. Our comments are our opinions only. We make no claims as to fact, and
I think I got that covered now.
There we go.
well, this explosion wasn't caused by Judy. The explosion was already brewing. The insult simply triggered it. How do you know that?
I know.
But it says she was pestering, so, and
She
it wasn't about moving the cars at all. She was
being nice. She
being
was
see
being
you
a,
next Tuesday.
she was being a witch.
All right. Well, here we are. We are at Judy's request. I keep thinking of the song Judy.
Judy, Judy.
Judy.
Oh, we got
Yeah.
I ruin it and think of my ex-wife. So, Jesus. That name's ruined it for you forever. This is
Yes, Lamar has a nephew who works at Graceland currently, and yeah, that's all I'm going to say on air.
Really?
He's not
That's a
very knowledgeable.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, he'll try to like. Well, he got me, and he's like, "Oh, meet me in the trophy room, and I'll tell you some stuff." And there was stuff I already knew. So and he thought he was gonna be cool and show me the broken chandelier, where Elvis kicked it. And I was like, "Yeah, cool story. I've seen that." But also, since I'm the last one in Graceland, can I please turn the lights off? And he let me. So
Oh, that's cool.
yeah, it was really cool. I'm like, can I just turn this? Like, you got to turn it off anyway, right? Y'all are leaving, so just let me. And he did.
How was it?
It was cool, just a little button, and the foyer lights went off.
They don't have any lights on in there at night?
Mm-mm. Yeah, I think
Amy
they
literally had the power of Graceland in her fingertips.
Can you imagine what the power bill is for that place?
like, can I just hit the button? Like, they're like, yeah, go ahead.
There's ghosts in Graceland, I'm telling you.
Oh, I
That's
believe
what
it.
the girl told me that was with him. She said, like, you get initiated when you first start working there,
Well, initiate me.
and stuff happens. So she said she was on the cleaning crew, and I think they cleaned Tuesdays or Mondays, and she was doing Gladys's bathroom, and she sprayed it, and then she went to wipe it, and she said she's like, Elvis's face was behind me in the mirror. She said I took off screaming, ran the kitchen. They were polishing the silver. She's like, I will never do this again. Don't ask me to do this again. And they were laughing, and they're like, oh, well, you're new. Like, everybody gets initiated.
Yeah, that happened to me.
She was like, I'm like, where can I sign up to clean Gladys's bathroom?
Mhm.
Because I'll do it for no dollars.
I wouldn't run away. I would acknowledge
Like,
him
hi,
and go,
Elvis, where have
hello.
you been all my life?
Well, the initial reaction was, I'm going to need to go find a mop. And then after that, I'd be excited about not at all. But, if I stand in his house and I looked up in the mirror and he was standing behind me, literally, I would literally piss my pants.
Mm-hmm.
And then I would say, oh, how cool.
I'd say,
But it's just a shock. It's just like in normal life where you're doing something and somebody in the house comes up behind you, you don't hear them, all of a sudden they're there, you're startled.
Mm-hmm.
That would have startled me at first, but then I would have been. I mean, I've had an experience before with a ghost, and I believe in them, and
Oh, I absolutely believe that.
I believe his spirit's there in that house.
I would ask for an autograph.
Has-
Even in death, they don't bother. They bother me about autographs.
I mean, even the cook said that they would sense things at night, or lights would come on, or
Yeah,
They would, Mr.
swear,
Elvis, if that's you, stop doing that. You're scaring me. So.
they swear Gladys is around. You can hear her walking and all that. And one of the maids, and that was during the day, heard something. And I think she saw something, and she went running out into the lawn and refused to go
Shirley. Yeah.
right away.
No, go ahead. I was just saying something to Charlie.
Yeah, and there's who was it? The one that took the photos, Dumas.
Yeah,
No,
Jamie.
Tomas, yeah.
They said too that night that she thought she heard something. So you know, with a house like that had so much in it and so much tears and good things that happened.
And generations before Elvis.
Yeah, it's
Well,
got
you look at the people that well Elvis died in the house, but you still even though you may die not in the house, your energy's in that house.
Your energy's there.
Gladys's would be there, Vernon's, Delta, Minnie May,
Oh, God help us.
Probably even Getlow.
Can you imagine Delta as a ghost? Can I talk to you? Fuck you.
Son of a bitch.
I remember you.
Can you imagine that? Oh, Delta, come in.
Ann's here. Hi, Ann. Judy Alden was her name. Okay.
Oh, okay.
The pool cue girl. Ann's always got the goods. She's got the little tidbits.
What do you guys think about? Oh shit! Look how far behind I'm on comments.
Sorry,
I can't.
We're having our own conversation. They're figuring out who Judy is, and it's fantastic.
rabbit hole.
All right, so this is where where the worm turns, where the chapter turns. Judy asks Sonny to move his car so she can leave. A completely ordinary request. Nothing about the situation appears confrontational initially. Yet Elvis unexpectedly inserts himself into the exchange and objects to Sonny leaving the game. Psychologically, the moment is fascinating. The author suggests Elvis interprets a minor inconvenience as a challenge to his authority.
Bullshit.
I don't believe that.
All of that is bullshit. Make it more interesting.
There's half a story there. Elvis wouldn't throw his toys out of the cot for no apparent reason. I think a little bit of a snide remark or a snide exchange was going on between the two, and Elvis picked up on it because everybody knows that he had extraordinary good hearing. And I have the same problem. People don't understand, but the softer people speak, the more clearer I can hear them. And I think he had the same thing, and he heard this exchange going on between the two of them, and he picked up on something, and he lost his shit. And they don't want to come out and say, oh no, we said this about her and that's about her, and Elvis lost his shit. They conveniently remove themselves from the narrative and make Elvis look like the irrational, irresponsible
Almost
one.
like the same scenario with that girl sitting at the bar where Elvis, Sonny was talking to that one girl. That story.
Yeah.
What was that story?
Yeah, and then he says Elvis punched him for no reason, but I think it's in Fortis's book. Sonny has Elvis backed up against a wall in his face. So
I know that Elvis, just from what I've read, that he did have a temper.
We all do.
But
I
don't think it flew off the handle easily. I think something, if that happened, something would have triggered. But I don't see how this scenario that they just put here would trigger a reaction like what they're trying to put here.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Did Sonny ever talk about it afterwards? It's was after the book. I don't know
about the pool cue thing.
Yeah,
I'll have to look and see if it's in his second book.
Yeah, because it'd be interesting to see what his thoughts are compared to how it wound up in the book.
I mean, I know the page thing's in his second book, and it's still a lie. So.
Well, see, there was another person that was there. Sandy K. Stevens was there, and she said this girl was was being a real bitch to Elvis and would not leave him alone, especially when he's trying to make a hit on the poll
Yeah.
tape. That's what she says, and I believe everything that she says. Because why would she lie?
I think
she was being cute and flirty, and she was irritating the piss out of him.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Elvis ever felt a challenge to his authority in his house. I think he hated disrespect.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
It wasn't a challenge to his authority because everybody knew he ruled that house.
Of course.
I think that disrespect was one thing he couldn't stand for in his house.
And towards himself or anybody. I
Yeah,
mean, there's a great in a group
exactly.
I'm in. There's a great audio of someone talking to Pauline Nichols' daughter, and she said, Elvis would have to address the people in the house and say, if you're not going to treat my help right, for lack of a better term, because I think he looked at those women like surrogate mothers, honestly.
Mm.
That you're not going to be here. You're not going to talk to people like that. You're not going to disrespect people because of their color.
Right.
So that he didn't tolerate that for anything.
Not surprised.
Yeah, I mean, I can imagine. I just go to the scene outside of this book with the Houston deal.
Yeah,
He felt disrespected. No, he felt that his
the girls.
girls were disrespected, and he wasn't having it. And you know what? Call it what you will. I don't call it a temper tantrum. I call it him saying, "Listen, you don't want him there. Guess who's not coming?"
Yeah.
Is
And
that about the hotel? I'm sorry, the motel.
It's the Houston Astrodome. They didn't want the Swedes to come.
yeah, in 1970 when he went there, when he did when he did his first really tour, which was what 6 shows at the Astrodome,
Mm-hmm.
and so they booked it. It was a big deal,
Oh,
and
it's huge. Yeah.
50,000 people a show, 40 to 50,000 people. Of course, it was all around the whole event, but he was the main attraction. And they were selling tickets for it, and he knew he
Yeah,
was.
the promoter called him and said, "You can come, but you're not bringing, whatever expletive he used about
Yeah,
this."
you're not bringing the black girls. Well, yeah, like she
And
said,
Elvis said, "Well, then I'm not coming either."
I'm not coming.
Maxie says, "Oh, sorry. Go ahead."
No, I said go ahead.
Maxie says Judy was following Elvis around the house, so he went to play pool to get rid of her, but she took the pool ball off the table. Delbert's story is bullshit. Was why he got annoyed.
Yeah, and there she's disrespecting the house.
Mm-hmm.
Disrespect. Yeah, that would drive me. I
It
think
drives
that
me
would drive
crazy.
anybody. I would lose my. I would throw the freaking
I
pool.
don't care if you're rich or not. Like you don't.
I would
Like
fucking
coming
throw
in
them
my
out
Elvis
my
room,
house.
touching my Elvis stuff.
I would throw them out my house, period.
Yeah,
It kills me that he's not here to back up crap like this.
I know.
Really,
It would be glorious if we could get his take on it.
yeah.
It would have been interesting to see what Elvis's reaction would have been. Do you think he read this book?
Yeah, he had a
Yes,
manuscript.
He did have a manuscript.
yes.
I would really like to have known what the reaction would have been to fans if Elvis was living, how they would have reacted and how he would have been approached. And imagine the questions that people would have been asking Elvis from that time. Every time he did an interview before, it would have been just, oh God,
I think maybe for a short time initially they would have asked a lot of questions,
Oh
but
yeah.
I think as time went on, Elvis's personality would have come to the forefront again, and they would have eventually figured it out and said, you know what, fuck
Yeah.
it, it's done. It's a
Yeah,
bunch of bull.
that's the thing about publicity, fame, stories like that come, they're big, they're hitting, all of a sudden they're gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I also think as much as people still love Elvis, and obviously when he was still here, I think those guys probably would have had to go into hiding for a while. I think there have been people looking,
Oh, yeah.
for them to.
I think about the man who sat there and read that book. Now he reacted maybe to himself, nobody else around. I could just see the poor man head down, crying.
Oh, I think Billy Smith said he cried, and then he said, what is my little daughter going to think of me?
Oh,
He was
Yeah,
very
that's-
distressed by that. And Larry Geller said the same thing, that he just was crying, and how could they do this to me? And so again, on the flip, Elvis was a human being, and that hurt him.
sure.
That book, had he lived, that book nailed any chance of them ever coming back for him.
Yeah.
If they had just kept their mouth shut and played it cool and apologized, do whatever, listen, whatever changes you want, he would have took some of them back.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he would have took them all back.
No, but I agree. Based on the book, I agree. I think that was the final nail in the coffin to say, you know what, fuck it, all of them are out of here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
we start new with Billy and maybe with one or two other guys, but the rest of them, fuck
Yeah.
them.
I think he had plans to just.
Oh yeah.
And I think his father was
Who did he tell that to? There was somebody said that Billy. It was Billy.
Billy.
Yeah.
I mean, Billy and Larry, he both said there's going to be changes after this last tour, and you know,
Billy had
gone, and
yeah. Billy had a good video the other day. It was really good. He talks about, so the time he spent with the story out there about he didn't live at Graceland because he went out and got a job, but he says doesn't mean I didn't go see Elvis.
Yeah, I don't understand why that's such a sticking point. I mean, obviously you're still going over for holidays, you're still getting together with your family.
Yeah.
What does that mean? Because he didn't work. I mean, yeah, he wasn't there as often as he was once he came back to work for him. But I would also submit, if we're doing a court case, you would probably still see him more than someone who didn't live there after they moved away and had children, and their kids were getting babysat in a trailer in the backyard.
Yeah.
But who am I?
All right, so section 6. We're just Elvis peons.
I mean, I'm not a first cousin, so I probably shouldn't talk.
Yeah, I think I'm 65th cousin.
Okay.
Well, fuck. Maybe I'm related to his mama.
Well, you're given permission.
I could be a double second cousin or something.
Mm-hmm. We can make something up.
But somewhere along the line, if you believe in creation, go all the way back to Adam. We're all cousins. Well, is that what he sings? We're all cousins and kissing cousins.
Mm-hmm.
Kiss me, cousin.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So early in the chapter, Sonny explains that one insult affected Elvis more than any other son of a bitch, because Elvis associated the term with attacks on Gladys Presley.
Mm-hmm.
One of the chapter's key psychological arguments. The authors repeatedly portray Gladys as emotionally sacred in Elvis's mind.
Of course, she was his mother, for God's sake.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, she was.
Well, that just goes to show they had no respect for their mamas. How sudden were they then?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because if Elvis had such adoration for his mama and he was a southern boy, everybody knew he was, and he had such adoration for his mama and that made him wrong or weak or whatever, what were they?
Yeah,
how did they feel about their mamas?
I mean, they even used that to make him look weird, like how close he was.
Yeah.
Yeah. If Priscilla was what?
Fuck.
What
these guys, I tell you.
Okay.
That he survived as long as he did with these fucknuts is the grace of God, in my opinion.
Okay, are we still on live? That's a new one. Fuck that. I like that one.
Very true.
First cousins. Oh my God. Anyways, if Priscilla was one of the two people Elvis truly loved, other than Gladys, the other was Gladys. Therefore, an insult containing "son of a bitch" was interpreted emotionally as an insult directed at his mother.
Well, duh.
Yeah. Get there. Whether that interpretation is fully accurate or not, it becomes central to how the authors explain what follows.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's going to be interesting.
The pool cue incident.
Never heard of it. We've been talking about it for how long here?
I know.
What's the pool table?
We're an hour and 30 minutes into the show, and that was one of the first things they mentioned at the beginning.
We've already covered it. Yeah, we're fine.
Yeah, these guys are crying about an incident where Mary Jenkins threw the Jello down the zinc 15 years ago, but they're still crying about the box of Jello.
All right, so this is the chapter's most disturbing sequence. We need to have soap. What was that series?
Falcon Crest, our music.
Yeah. Oh yeah, in the background. I don't even have. We could always do.
No, that's too upbeat. We need something more dramatic. Yeah.
Well, Elvis liked it. Might as well.
Yeah. So this is the chapter's most disturbing sequence. After Judy responds angrily and calls Elvis a son of a bitch, Sonny claims Elvis throws a pool cue across the table.
I would have thrown the whole table.
Hey, maybe that's why it wasn't in
I
that.
don't know why that threw me. I don't know why that threw me.
According to the account, the cue strikes Judy. She collapses. The room goes silent. Party guests become stunned.
Oh.
This scene is written with maximum dramatic intensity. The authors were readers to experience. Oh, the authors want readers to experience shock, disbelief, fear. I don't know if I got it. I was just like, I think I remember this incident reading it, and I don't think I ever believed it. Not to the extent that they're doing.
These guys must have thought the people that are going to buy this book and believe this book have marshmallows for brains. Because
The question I have is on this is how much of this analysis is from what Steve Dunleavy did to the what was told too. You know,
Yeah.
you've got a force of 4 people, the guys that told the basic stories, and Steve saying, "Well, that's not enough to give fear," or what was the comments here? Shock. Well, of course, he wanted the shock. So,
The shock factor.
so Elvis threw the pool cue because he was angry about calling him a son of a bitch. Okay, 90% of us would, I don't know,
would have done the
a
same.
lot of us would have done that.
Yeah.
But now he's thrown in, it hit her. So who do the guys actually say that, or does Steve Dunleavy? That's just a question.
Is that
I think Sonny actually said it hit her. Like, and
he did.
he checked on her afterwards. I think he met her for lunch, and she was disfigured for life. And it parallels the Paige Peterson thing. Like, oh well, that little girl was never the same since.
Where
There was
did
no light in her eyes? Well, how'd you know what light was in her eyes before, you weirdo? Like, you didn't know Paige before.
Now,
where
Sandy,
did it hit her? Where did it hit her?
And in
In
the
the breast?
breast, apparently.
wow.
So Sonny
Oh.
probably inspected it himself.
Sandy
Yeah.
was there. I think. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Terry.
Dr.
Shame.
West.
She must have had brittle bone syndrome.
Probably black.
Because if a pool cue hits me in the wrist, I'm not going to be scarred for life unless I have brittle bone syndrome.
Oh no, in the boobie, Cammy.
It was the breast,
In
not
the
the wrist.
breast.
The breast. The breast.
Oh, well,
In
then even more so.
So
She
you don't
must
have a
been
firm movie?
You got to just keep thinking that there was somebody there and somebody who I respect. I have never heard her lie, and that was Sandy K. Stevens. And she said he did throw it. It did hit her. They left and brought her to the hospital. And anything after that, we don't know. I don't believe that Sonny had.
So it must have been a non-issue then when she was
Then
taken to the
they
hospital.
just made it into this big freaking story.
And it says apparently it was actually more the shoulder area, but he said breast to make it more dramatic.
Well, maybe.
Yeah, he threw a pool cue at him and hit him in the nuts when he actually hit him in the kneecap.
Yeah, that makes it
You're
sound a
not
lot
going to say
better.
breast. I mean,
Yeah.
I
All right.
mean, Dr. West on the case.
Gilbert.
Analysis of the incident. This is where historians
Here we
need
go.
caution. Several questions arise. Was the incident exaggerated?
Yes.
Possibly.
Anne says she didn't seek medical attention. Okay. So you didn't miss it, not have gone far then.
Yeah.
She didn't.
Mm-mm.
Was dialogue reconstructed? I think so. Almost certainly. Did an altercation occur? The book insists it did.
Possible.
The challenge is that the story relies almost entirely on Sonny West's recollection years later.
And there we go.
But we know it happened. We know it happened.
Yeah.
Objection, conjecture,
No. Judge,
Objection, speculation.
sustained.
Yeah.
it happened. Damn it.
She was one of the girls Sonny trolled out and about. Yeah.
All right. Section 8. Sonny's moral crisis.
Oh, for God's sakes.
Did you have any?
He started at birth and it ended at death.
Uh-huh.
The most interesting part of the chapter may not be Elvis at all. It may be Sonny. After the
I don't
incident,
care.
Sonny comforts Judy
Of course he does.
and he feels guilty.
Hmm.
He
Mm.
worries about legal consequences. Well,
Oh, well, that's
Mm.
fresh
would
because
yeah,
wasn't worried about that in '76.
She
you
was
would,
probably
Mm.
paid off
and then he talks her out of suing.
Mm.
I can't believe
Ever,
she walked away without nothing. She had to.
ever the hero he was.
Yeah.
This becomes a confession chapter. Sonny admits he protected Elvis even when he believed Elvis was wrong. That admission is important. The chapter is not merely accusing Elvis, it is accusing the Memphis Mafia too.
Oh, for God's sakes.
You're gonna make me delete my interview because I don't believe any of it now.
I'm glad we got through it already.
It's also stupid. I mean, it's just so low IQ and it's just so dumb.
A bottle of ketchup has more morals than this guy.
Hmm.
Delbert, the pillar of truth and savior.
Mhm. Second only to Abraham.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Natalie, that's a good point. Once again, Elvis was such a
Yeah.
nut. Why did they stay? I mean, they complained afterwards. They complained about everything: the money,
Hmm.
Hmm.
the
Couldn't feed
tempers,
their
all the.
families. Well, if a man can't feed his family, you got to go find more work.
I
Hmm.
don't care. I would never work for somebody like that. I don't care who he was. I wouldn't put up with it that long. I would put up with it to extent if it was Elvis.
Hmm.
If that's the way he was, I would
Hmm.
only put it up with for so long. I'm just like, I can't do this.
Yeah.
Mm.
First of all, I've lost my respect for the man, and I'm talking
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Hypothetical, yeah.
yeah, I've lost respect for this man because I've seen what he is behind the scenes. I don't want anything to do with him personally.
Yeah.
I'll just
Mm.
go back home, I'll buy his records, and I'll just go find a job somewhere else. But no, they didn't have the testicles to do that. All
No.
they wanted to do was to get what they were getting at that time. They never bitched about it before.
No.
They wanted to live in the whole house with a credit card, but bitch, how shitty it was.
Yeah. And I mean, you got to think, was it '61? Elvis punched him, and Sonny says in his interview he was getting sick of Elvis then because Elvis had changed and he was tired of it. Well, then
Yeah,
here's '63, and here he still is.
yeah.
Oh, you'll
Mm.
catch up, Kathleen. You'll catch up with the conversation. It's
You know, Elvis, you've changed, Elvis. You're not the same.
yeah. You're not the man I loved. You're not the man.
Okay,
Well,
Yeah.
Joe's
Oh,
the minister.
it's
Joe's
how
the
it comes
minister.
off, though. I mean, it's so bizarre.
Of course he's changed. Of
Everybody
course
does.
he's changed.
I
I
mean, his
mean,
mother had
everybody does.
died. He had the army. As he came home, his career was different. Of course, he changed.
Of course he changed. He grew up with having to hope that he would have the next meal to all
Yeah.
of a sudden money is no fucking object.
Hmm.
And now it makes him such a terrible guy because he's first off grown up without almost everything. Now he's in a position where he can have whatever he wants in the world.
Yeah.
And oh my God, it makes him such a terrible guy for sharing it with the people that are around him. Of course, he's changed.
These guys spent their whole career with Elvis. These big tough guys that protected Elvis, and they were there for his beck and need. And then they turn out after they're gone to be a bunch of spineless pansy asses and
Yeah,
backstabbers. They were all along. All they were doing was giving a false front to Elvis to make him feel like they were there because of their loyalty and their love for him. It was all a fraud.
yeah, they were there because they loved what he gave them. No wonder he came out with statements like, "Are they gonna remember me when I'm gone? Um, Cut me and I bleed." Of course, because this tells me the shit that he was talking to himself. He'd figured all this out within himself, but he also had the presence of mind to know that these fucking idiots around me, it doesn't help. I talk to them about it because the elevator don't go to the top. So just
Exactly.
keep the information that I figured out to myself for myself, and when the time is right, I'm going to strike, which I actually believe to 100%. Had he survived by the time that tour was out, if not even before the end of that tour, at least 50% of those guys that were around him would have been out the door faster than you could say Bob.
Time to
I
clean house.
agree.
Yeah. Melissa says that all he did was cause problems and collect towels.
Oh my God. The
But Kathleen,
first house at Elvis.
I can guarantee it, Kathleen, you're not gonna even think of the Memphis Mafia when you walk.
No, you won't think of any of this when you get up there.
No,
Once that bus goes through the gates and you kind of go up that first little incline, you're in another world.
yeah. And when you walk through that front door, be prepared because especially if it's your very first time, you walk through that front door, and I'm telling you right now, put your hand on the door jamb as you're walking in, and you can feel it'll make your hair stand up.
Or the banister at the bottom. I always put my hand there.
Oh, yes, yeah.
He'd be on the stairs and he rest his hand. Oh, you could do towels for Elvis week because it's so hot. You could do like Elvis-A-Z cooling towels.
I have a product there to sell them like that. I could put them on. Oh, that's a freaking good idea.
And then we can all throw them at each other. Yeah.
Do you think Elvis finally figured out that they were there for themselves?
Yes, I 100%.
Yeah.
I think 100% believe he did.
I think he always suspected it, or was, well, I'm sure he always had the trust factor with him, but it was obviously very well confirmed when the book.
Yes.
When he saw that the book was coming out, he knew what it was all about.
He knew. Yeah.
And all it did was it did more damage to the guys than it did to Elvis, I think, in the long run.
I think from his perspective, the book gave him the proof that he'd been searching for years.
Yeah.
And the guys didn't even realize it. They were they gave him the knife by which to slit their throats.
Yeah, to cut a lot more off.
Yeah.
Elvis was not an idiot, I'll tell you that.
Oh no.
They think he was some country bumpkin.
Nope.
And he didn't even put on that act as a country bumpkin. He was just pure on, and that's how he won people like Ed Sullivan, all these people over at Milton Berle, except for Steve Allen. He won them all over because of his Southern qualities, who he was.
I agree.
The brain was. Oh, go ahead.
He was just good. He was just he had a good heart.
I said something today in this video that I put out, and I'm not gonna mention who it was about, but there was something I said in there. Everybody will figure out who it's about. I made the comment that would Elvis have ever ashamed anybody in public? Would he have ever knocked another person's child or their grandmother, or would he have ever done any of this shit that he's being that somebody else is doing? You want to represent Elvis and have his name. You adapt his qualities.
Elvis would not be affiliated with someone who speaks in the manner about people that she has affiliated herself with.
Yeah, no, he would not put
the shit out of that person.
Oh, no, and that's the one thing that hit me, because I told you before, and I'm digressing here for a second. When you and I talked about the video coming out, I said, "Oh, I'm going to do this in piecework. I'm going to hit it piece." And then I sat back. I thought, you know what? Why should I do that? I don't feel like sitting here listening to her again. So I just decided to do a questionnaire. You like to do these questions? Well, here's the questions. And all the way down the line, would Elvis have done this? Would Elvis have done that? Would Elvis have done this? And no, he wouldn't. If he would have never done anything like that in public to anybody.
Except if it pertained directly to Lisa.
I agree.
Yeah.
And this person is questioning why Lisa did things, and she's in no position to do that.
Yeah.
If it directly involved Lisa or in any way hinted towards Lisa, oh, you would have seen everything, everything and the tiger come out.
Well, the last few days, it's been an attack on Lisa, Riley. It's sickening, absolutely sickening.
And what has that person accomplished with their life, besides having to use Elvis's name to gain some form of fucking notoriety? Because I can't do it on my own brain power. Oh, so excuse me, sir or ma'am, you have the right to slam Elvis's lineage because you a worthless
Mm-hmm.
fucking fried fish.
Yeah.
Nice.
Right. All right. The
For
brainwash.
purposes only.
Yes. The brain.
You know, so the sad part is again, these people put this shit out there thinking that we're gonna eat the shit up
Yeah,
Oh,
for dessert. We don't have
exactly.
our own intellectual capability to sit
Mhm.
back and look at this and go, hang on, this don't make sense here.
Yeah,
yeah. It's disheartening.
What an insult to people's intelligence to
it
even
truly is.
put out that shit. They're thinking, oh yeah, nobody's gonna be able to figure out it's a crock of
No one's
shit.
going to question me because I'm Elvis's first cousin.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, yep,
I don't.
fuck you.
I was just going to say, this is who I think this is, isn't it? What
I
they
mean,
say now that I don't have no idea what you're talking
oh,
about.
God.
She just. It's a dispute that's going on between her and Billy right now.
Oh, okay.
And, they just can't. Here's what I got to say about Billy. Billy, whether I believe what he said was jokingly, and some of the stuff he said was joking, like when they said he was really alive. Because I picture Billy Smith as being a little bit of a smartass. But anyways,
Mhm.
whatever was said, he didn't spend the rest of his career running around making money off of Elvis's name
Yeah.
and telling these stories that of course Billy was there. He could tell a lot of stories, but you got somebody out there running around who wasn't there.
And
And
that's one thing about Billy and Danny both. If they weren't there or they don't know, they will say, I don't
yeah,
know.
yeah, yeah,
Or
Yeah,
Danny will say, I don't know. You need to ask that on my dad's channel. Like,
yeah,
yeah.
and here's something to think about too. Again, to use Bully and Danny as examples, prime examples. They were there, right? They grew up there. They lived the life. But yet, when Elvis passed away, they removed themselves
Yeah.
from the picture,
yeah,
right?
Yep.
yeah,
And ironically enough, people that were never there as much as they claim to have been there, oh, now they fucking front and center.
yeah.
And specifically with Lisa gone.
Do you think
Hmm.
Vernon would have asked him to leave if they hadn't?
I don't know. That's a good question.
Yeah.
That's a really good question.
Hmm.
I don't know what that relationship was like, or I'm not sure. I mean, I know obviously Nash and Earl stayed up there working on the grounds. Who else was
Again,
up there? Because Billy left what, December '77.
Yeah, was it
mm,
There were still some people up there, so
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think he would have.
No, I don't think so, Vernon.
yeah.
mm.
All right. Well,
Then, like some kind of security or whatever. I think everybody that was up there was like groundskeepers or.
okay. Excuse me. I got to take some Pepto Bismol here. No.
Are those are there still a few trailers up there? I know I saw one, maybe two.
I
There's one left I know of they use for security uses there, or like people that overnight walk the ground security. Yeah.
I know when I first went through there. When did it open again? 82.
82.
There was 2 or 3 in
Yeah.
the like 80s when
Yeah,
I was there. Now there's
yeah.
just one.
The first time I went there was 83, and I figured it out the other day. It was towards the end of 83, and they had 3 trailers on there at the time.
Mhm.
And the person that was walking us through explained, and I don't remember. I'm talking about 40 some years ago, but
Yeah,
they
she did.
told us
44,
but they said one of them
40.
was for security. I remember that, and the other 2 I think were just workers that needed a place to stay while they were doing stuff at the property or something
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah, Billy Smith. Yeah, the brown trailer's still there. Um, that's probably the newest. And yeah, Tish moved into Billy's. Tish moved into Mike McGregor's when he left, and then she moved into Billy's when Billy left.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the Presley Trailer Park in the back.
I mean, I know they're just trailers, but I wish they would leave stuff like that alone and use the other two as well.
Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah.
archival something, but I can't stand when they change things at Elvis's at Graceland. It just bothers me, and it'll bring me right back to the Hall of Gold.
I hate that they changed that. They could have left that there and moved the others across the street.
I think the Hall of Gold was more dramatic when you come around that corner and see
Yeah.
that, as opposed to the way they do it now.
Yeah.
because now it seems more like it's in more of a sterile environment, where as opposed to the home, it just felt like it was part of the home.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like, and that's what Elvis went and looked at and probably was like, well, god
Yeah.
damn.
It was nothing.
You know,
It was nothing like taking that corner. It was like, oh,
takes your breath
but
away. Well,
I know.
I have to pop off, guys. I got to take my daughter somewhere. I promised her we would go volunteer
Okay.
at the animal shelter.
Well, we got a good stopping point here. The brainwashed passage. We made it about halfway through 3. So, but and once again, guys, great conversation. This has been fun.
Oh, you guys don't have to quit because I'm going.
no, it's a good time anyway.
Yeah, it's at 2 hours. It's probably a good time to break. Um, I'm gonna need a break here, anyways. But what about you, Cam? You about ready?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm about ready to.
I think that temporary exhibit, Kyle, is probably just accessibility and open space because you have to remember the archive building is right there. So they're not having to transport these artifacts across the street. The racquetball court's open. It's just a short exhibit, I think. I don't think it's anything that's going to be permanent, but I could be wrong.
Yeah.
It's probably just accessibility and not risking those things to move them, after our Aloha Crown incident in the woods.
Bring out the black paneled van, please.
Please, in the truck. Yeah, please do that.
Well, this has been a good one. We got a good breaking point. We made it to we finished off 2 and we got to 2/3 of the way through 3.
We're doing good.
Yeah.
But the conversations are well worth it. It's fun, even though we do digress a little bit. We pretty much stay on topic, and it's got some. I've learned a few things.
Well, since we almost constantly I have brought up about Cindy K. Stevens, can we put that in line to listen to her soon?
Yes,
Yeah, that would be great.
Let's do it next week after the Lamar Fikes.
Fine with me.
Okay, that's yeah. Just remind me, and we'll do that for sure.
Good.
All right, Amy. Thanks.
Right.
Everybody out there, thank you so much. And I know you got to go, Amy. So I'll talk to you.
We'll chat later. All right. Bye, y'all.
Bye.
Bye.
Yeah, everybody, thank you so much. This has been I thoroughly enjoy this. It's not dramatic. There's no. I say this over and over again. It's just I just can't believe how we can have a conversation like this, and no one's like, well, no, it's this way, no, it's that way, like it used to be when we first began. Okay.
No, it's.
Dude, I'm sorry.
I've lost my respect for that entire gang now. It's like, you know what?
Yeah.
And now I empathize with Elvis even more. It's like, fuck, now I can understand why he felt so intensely lonely.
Well,
Because he knew he was surrounded by a bunch of fucking lily-livered, yellow-tailed, useless fucks that were only using him for what he gave them. They didn't give a shit about him, really.
yeah,
They gave a shit about
she had
himself.
to live with that shit afterwards too.
Yeah.
She had to deal with it, and you know what? I'm glad she put her foot down and banned some people from going there. I don't know who all she did, but the obvious thing to me is the reason why somebody has to pay. That Miss Pritchett has to pay to go through Graceland is because she is not invited to go there as a family member. Part of Elvis Week.
Does she really think that she could get Graceland? Is that what she's trying to do, you think? Or
No, she's just trying to make herself more important than
One thing, the main thing about her is this money.
Yeah.
I mean, just look at the videos. Look at her traveling around the world while City Bake's looking for her.
Well, a lot of it. You say money, but a lot of it is fame. She wants to be famous.
Well, it all to me that all ties in together.
Of course.
It's just the whole, and making herself feel important, and because who else is out there other than Billy? Billy's not going to go out there and do this.
No.
He respects Elvis too much to go out there and live off of his name like that. And
you know what? Kudos to him.
I have a lot of respect for both of them. I don't. Once again, like we said before, nobody's perfect, and people have done things, and I couldn't even, as far as any remarks that I know of that Billy made, as far as I'm concerned, I don't give a shit.
Yeah, and you know what the strange thing is Billy knows he said stuff in the past, and he's come right out and he's apologized for it.
Thanks,
He
Helen. Thanks.
he he's taken ownership of things he regrets saying. He's taken ownership of things he regrets doing, and that's it.
Yeah, Melissa's right. That's what she wants. She wants that fame, and you know, the people that are following her are, to me, the people that are following her are doing it because it's something about Elvis. It has nothing to do with looking at the facts and the whole story. They're just able to connect with her online through the chats, and it's an Elvis family member. I feel honored when I get a shout out from Danny.
Yeah.
I feel it honored, but I'm not going to go out and say, "Oh, you know what? I know him. I'm gonna change my last name to Presley, and I'm gonna run it." It's ridiculous, and the fact that people. But the other question I had in that video is why is it that her name's not mentioned in any books, with exception of hers and her mommy's book? Why is it? Why is it that the only person that will represent her and give her
Credence.
credence online is a flat out loser, a worthless human being who disrespect. And I'm not going to say his name because he'll get he'll get his panties in a wad. But I, how do you associate with somebody like that when you know what they're doing? Well, that just goes to show you that she doesn't have credibility in the Elvis world.
Yeah, it's the age old adage. People like that, birds of a feather.
Who else does she hang around with in the Elvis world?
Mhm.
She's hanging around with some woman that's a dance teacher, known for a long time, and that's fine. She's just as evil and rotten as Donna is. But you know what? I don't see her hanging out with Linda. I don't see her hanging out. Though they did a cruise together, but they were just booked together. That's all. You know. And she didn't come out of the woodwork. She didn't crawl out from under a rock until Lisa died because Lisa was the one that could refute her. She's been around for years, but look at those years. Just because you've never been arrested doesn't mean you still don't live a life as a criminal. Anyways, I think I've dwelt on that enough. Now that I need an antacid. Guys, appreciate it. This has been fun. Joe, as always, Cam, as always, we'll hang on for a second after we get here and say our goodbyes. Charlie, nice to see you. Everybody, great conversation. Had a nice flow of people here, especially when it's 3:00 in the afternoon to start it. So next week we'll be back again. Lisa's book next Wednesday again. So, and all of our other stuff. We got a lot of stuff. I don't think we have enough stuff. I need to come up with more. No, I think I'm done right now. All right, guys. We will see you. Hopefully, we got Inside the Studio tomorrow. Our guest host was Kyle, and we had a blast. And this is going to be the first Inside the Studio with not one edit, all the way from the very beginning. And it was a crazy one. So we got that, and then we got the Lamar Fike interview with Joe Crine tomorrow at 3.
And we got the radio show later too.
We got we got the radio show tonight too. Thank you. I got to put that out. All right, go get some rest, Cam. I'll give you a call, guys. Thanks a lot. See y'all later.
Later, guys.